Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with Coach Jonathan Pixley. Again, this is, believe it or not, episode number 10 of NBA Past and Present. And the topic of the day, we are going to talk about 5 guys that we think are on the NBA trading block, and we're talking about little dudes. We may follow up with an episode or maybe a midweek episode coming up where we talk about 5 big guys that might be on the block, that might be moved. But these 5 guys I've heard discussed in trade rumors. So we're going to talk about who they are, how much they get paid, why their teams want to bounce away from them, and who they may end up going with, and whether that'll move the needle. And then, of course, we're going to play Who's That Dude, which has become very popular. I think we got confirmation, as we requested last week, about Byron Scott. I think I got a lot of people on my side. You came back with a different colored ribbed shirt. Are you going collars down today?
Well,
Same shirt, different color.
I figured I got a couple of them for Christmas, so now every chance I get, I'm going to wear it, because the only thing I am missing is the
uniform
man bag. This is a long sleeve one, though. This is a little different. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
And it's ribbed. It's very ribbed, though. Very ribbed.
Is everyone like a monotone? Is it like tan, brown, khaki, gray, white, charcoal?
White. I think I got a white one, a blue one, and this gray one. Yeah.
Okay. No turquoise, no pink, no fuchsia, nothing.
No, I'm not going to go there. I mean, I guess you're saying, well, why wouldn't you? You might as
well.
Yeah,
you're already there. Yeah.
Right. So I get it.
All right. So let's get going. Let's talk about FanDuel real quick. We were talking about it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, why didn't we hit record? This is what we're going to do anyway. So as you guys know, we're very amateur, very low stakes gamblers here. I have much lower stakes than my wheeling and dealing friend here, which is ironic because you've always been probably significantly more conservative than me.
Yes, and have a lot less money than you do too, so it makes no sense. But yeah.
it makes no sense. It's backwards. I'll take it. Anyway, and also we got a chance to see each other at a high school basketball game the other day. That's my first high school basketball game in like 4 years. Yeah. I went because I was friends with your replacement coach, right, Chad, and then I was also friends with the coach of the other school, and I've been telling him I was going to come by and see him. And so they played each other, and I was already on that particular high school's campus for one of my kids' soccer games, and so I just bounced right over, and I got a chance to run into you. It was a packed gym. It was a good atmosphere. It was good to see a good atmosphere in Louisiana high school basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's, the level of talent, I think, is always cyclical, right, because of our small market size. But I think regardless of the level of talent, anytime you walk into a gym where it's packed like that, it's awesome. And actually, Dunham had played in the previous Friday, or maybe 2 Fridays before, at Episcopal, which is always a big,
always, yeah, and loud.
And that was the worst Episcopal team I'd seen ever.
Playing pickup at Episcopal is great because I'm a firm believer their rim is about 9 foot 10 and a half, and so it made me feel great being able to get my half my forearm over the rim in my younger years. It's like gave me a great boost of confidence. You didn't get a seat. You didn't get to sit down. I mean, there was that many people in the gym. It wasn't good.
Though I didn't sit at Episcopal. I want to stand up against the wall.
You got to get out. Yeah, and so you can get out if you need to. Plus, you spent your entire career watching basketball in a standing position, because when I coached with you, I was the only one sitting down. You were always there, coming over, ask a question, go back, come back, back and forth. Did that atmosphere walking into that gym, and I know that's 2 in about a couple of weeks, did you miss it at all?
No.
Okay. None of it.
I mean,
look, if you could, if you could just show up and coach the game, that would be great. But there's so much work, man. There's so much patience.
Yeah, I'm watching the game and I'm going, okay, let's do this. I'd like to do this. Da, da, da. If you can't get pumped up for that, that's fine. I knew I was done when I stopped getting excited about going to practice.
Yeah,
and just all the other stuff, man. Look, and I loved coaching high school basketball, and we had some success and it was fun, but I mean, it was just. I was ready to go do something else. And look, not coaching high school basketball actually opens up some time for me to do stuff like this.
No question. The fact that no one's buying houses opens up a lot of time for me to do stuff like this. Unfortunately, I wish I could tell you, look, man, I'm too busy this week. I'll have to put you off.
Maybe I'm catching up with you in money, and that's why I'm betting so big.
Let me tell you something. I'm going backwards. I'm in the red right now. I'm spending more than I'm making. So hopefully,
with all 12 of your kids, that's also a problem. I mean,
it is a problem. But listen, I haven't had a kid. I haven't produced a child, Jonathan, in over 8.5 years. Almost 9 years.
I feel like it's due for a whoops somewhere. I don't know. Maybe.
All right. I'll pass that along. We'll see. We'll see what Rebecca thinks about that. Mrs. Cajun thinks about that. Let's talk about FanDuel real fast. 2 minutes in and out. I was on a cold streak. I caught fire. I'm actually up on the 250 that I put into FanDuel. I'm actually up. I'm at like 277 or something. I had a really huge night the other night. I think I made 7 bets, all of them parlays. I hit on 6 out of 7. Now, again, just to reiterate, we're talking I bet 5, and usually my parlays pay out anywhere from 15 to like 45. Okay. And so I'm unlikely to win these parlays that I'm betting because the odds are greater. But I went like 5 out of 6 or something crazy like that. The one that I missed on, we were bitching about this, is I needed Donovan Mitchell to score 20 points. And Donovan did not score 20 points the other night. He scored 16, which I thought he's a lock. He shoots so much and he shoots so many threes. I just figured it was a lot. And he gets fouled a lot. I just figured it was a lot. It's nothing's a lot. You can't count on anything. And then we had fun watching the Lakers and the Nets. Nets.
Lakers,
Celtics?
Knicks.
That's what it was. Lakers, Knicks. And so we both had a bunch of bets going, and it went into overtime, which helped us both immeasurably. So we both ended up winning our parlays only because it went into overtime. So that was a good feeling. What else? Anything else going on? Any big ones? Oh, you had a big one. Tell us about your big parlay that you hit.
Yeah, huge night the other night for me, actually. And this has happened to me twice in 2 months. Okay. In fact, a couple months ago, because I put 200 in at the beginning, and I got all the way up. I got up to about, I don't know, maybe 500, 600 bucks at one point. Dropped all the way to where I had $2 left in my account and hit one big night and got back up to where I was like 550, 600 bucks.
Wow.
The other night I had gotten up to about 600. I dropped all the way. My account was at $87.
Okay.
And so I bet 20, 20, and 10, 20 on this massive parlay, which hit every one of them. It was 20 legs. I hit every one of them. Okay. A 14-leg parlay, which I got 13 because why? Because Tom Thibodeau decided that he wasn't going to play RJ Barrett in the fourth quarter overtime. And I'm not an RJ Barrett guy, but I figured, you know what? He's good for 15 points.
Hartenstein is the reason. He decided to play 40 minutes.
Yeah, played 40 minutes. If I hit that one, then I end up over 1,000 for the night.
That would have been big.
I know, but I hit the 20 leg, and then I also hit the triple double because I figured LeBron in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, he's going to always put on a show. So he hit his triple double, and Jokic hits a triple double damn near every game now. So I got that one as well. So I ended up over 700. I was like $740 at the end of the night.
Good.
So big night. Yeah,
it's a good night. That trivializes my bets. It makes my bets meaningless because they're on such a lower level. All right, let's talk about some of these trade targets. I've got 5 of them written down. There's no rhyme or reason. We could talk about likelihood of being traded, why they should or shouldn't be traded. I'm just going to throw out names. I'm going to read you my notes. I'll give you some stats and just and information about them, and then we'll kind of go from there. Before we get to these 5 trade targets, let me tell you this. I've pulled up, and let me screen share here real quick. I'm going to go to the NBA standings, and I'm going to screen share for everybody. Ooh, where are the standings? There they are. So I got the standings pulled up, and I've talked about the teams that I think are. Let me see if I can put this over here. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't see you right now, but I wonder if there's a way I can do this. I don't know how this works. No, I was trying to see if there's a way I could do both. Okay. So anyway, long story short, here's my list of buyers and sellers and holders. Okay. You tell me if I missed something here. Teams that are looking to buy, meaning add at least one relevant piece to get them kind of over the hump. Lakers, Mavs,
yes.
Pelicans,
yes.
Bucks. I could have put them in the hold department, but I think the Bucks are looking to upgrade because right now, I'll be honest with you, George Hill should never touch the floor. Wes Matthews is an atrocious player who actually gets minutes. Portis is out for a pretty decent little stretch here, which is an issue, man. He's a very important piece. So I thought maybe they'd make a move and try to package a few old guys and expiring contracts to get somebody else in there. If not, they're going to rely on Marjan Beauchamp, who's the rookie, who's actually got some future potential. He's like a better Dyson Daniels. And then Jordan Nwora, who actually I don't mind Jordan Nwora. He's a pretty decent three-point shooter. He can play a little bit. So I got the Bucks as a buyer, but they might be a hold. They're not going to go do anything crazy.
That, not the fact that you have them as a buyer or a hold. They are in that role, but the problem is they're targeting Jay Crowder. And I got an issue with that. So we'll get to that, I'm sure.
We got to get to that. Like, Jay Crowder is absolutely atrocious in 77 different ways. Jay Crowder is absolutely terrible.
He's a little better version of PJ Tucker, maybe. Is that what he is? Is he better? I don't know. He's at what? You know what? Here's the problem. He's probably not better because he shoots more. You know.
That's right. That's right. PJ Tucker's finally figured it out. Only 1 or 2 corner threes a game. That's it. Never dribble, never pass. Finally, you must have seen our episode. Mm-hmm. So I got the Bucks. I got the Sixers as a buyer.
So that's an interesting one because they got some dudes to package. I just hope that I can't imagine Maxi's going to be in that package though, right?
If he is, it's a mistake. And I was going to talk to you about that because he's been shelved. Like he was flourishing when Harden was out. And I was like, dude, this is like a potential top 5 point guard in the league type talent. This guy is really freaking good. Yeah. And he's regressed. I think he's regressed significantly. I probably need to take a closer look at his stats, but I don't feel like he's what he was. Am I wrong?
He doesn't have the opportunity to be what he was. That's the thing, you know?
Yep. So Sixers, Nets, definitely. Because they need to upgrade over Joe Harris. The rumor is Joe Harris and Curry maybe on the block and replace them with somebody who can do what they do, but also can play defense because neither one of them can.
Bro, I saw every time I watched Joe Harris play, and I looked at his numbers last night. He's just under 40 from the arc. He's 46 from the field. But every time I watch him play, he can't make wide open threes, and he can't guard anybody. And he just – it's bad. It looks bad. That injury –
well, he doesn't create. He doesn't guard. You know, he can't shoot it. There's no question about that. And Seth Curry, really, I mean, one of the greatest shooters of all time, percentage-wise, right? By the numbers. So the Nets I have as a buyer. The Hawks I have a question mark by because I don't know what the hell these guys are doing. I mean, there was talk for a while there when they were really struggling that they were going to split Trae Young and DeJounte and find somebody who would take a flyer on Trae Young as a franchise cornerstone because you have to. If you take that contract, you're taking him and banking on him. So I don't know if the Hawks are a buyer, a seller, or a holder. I don't know what they're going to do.
They don't know what they are, man. And you and I both know a young man very well that was there. And whenever he got drafted there, immediately I was like, God, that's probably the second worst place that he could be.
Literally.
Behind where he is right now, actually. But it's
wait, where is he now?
Philly, but he's in the G League, but that's fixing to probably change.
Oh, I didn't even know he was under. So he's under. He did end up going under contract. He's just in the G League. Is he killing it? He's killing it.
Well, he was, and now they're playing these two-way guys back and forth. He's on an E10, which is actually very, very Exhibit 10. So that's very advantageous for him because it means any team can sign him.
Oh, nice. So he's auditioning every night.
Yeah. But the problem is, you know, anyhow, it's just a bad situation. But the Hawks deal was awful. It's like how many 2.5s and 3.5s do you want on a team? You know,
I know.
Are you kidding me? And they got rid of Cam Reddish, right? I mean, when they had him, you got Bogdanovich, you got DeAndre Hunter, you got Cam Reddish.
AJ Griffin.
Yeah, okay. Then you signed DeJounte Murray, right? Trade for him.
To play the two.
To play the two.
Right. And
here's the problem. All those guys, fine. They're not going to touch the ball until 5 seconds left in the shot clock anyhow.
That's right.
You know,
Hawks are a weird situation right now. Hawks are a weird situation. Let's keep going. Hawks. I got the Kings as buyers. They're moving and they're making a push. And they're taking it seriously. The idea would be, and this would be tough because he's a foundational piece, not because he's elite talent wise, but like he matters to them. And I know he's a locker room guy. And he's a great pro. Is Harrison Barnes is probably the guy where they need to upgrade. If they could package Harrison Barnes and maybe Davion Mitchell, who really doesn't help them at all. I mean, he's proven to be a pretty good defender, but I mean, he can't really play offense. He can't play point guard. He's a little bitty guy.
Who wants to go play in Sacramento, though?
Well, if it's a trade, it's not like the players have a choice. It's not like they can say, you know what, coach, I'm good. I don't want to be traded. I mean, it's a trade. It's not like –
You're right. You're right. That was poorly stated. I guess my point is who could they get with those two? Do they have picks available? I don't know.
I don't know. And that's the other thing is I've got to plead complete ignorance about salary cap issues and trade pieces and picks and all that stuff. I'm just going to kind of relay bits and pieces of what I've heard, and then we can hypothetically talk about it. People can comment in the comments if these trades are not doable at all. But like I'm thinking to myself, like not the original Bogdanovich, the Bogdanovich that's in Detroit would be a freaking hellacious fit right there. He'd be their new age Turkoglu. And that would really, really help that team because he and Keegan Murray are essentially the same player. Bogdanovich a little more polished, probably obviously been pro a lot longer than Keegan Murray, but Keegan Murray hopes to be Bogdanovich basically.
Yeah, but Keegan Murray is also for that particular team playing the 4. So Bogdanovich slides in at the 3. You got Fox, Herter, and Sabonis. That's a pretty good freaking lineup, dude.
That's a pretty good lineup, man. Yeah, that's a really pretty damn good lineup, man.
And all those dudes guard a little bit too.
A little bit. Yeah. Herter's a little better defender than you would think from a honky ginger. But let's keep going. We're taking too much time. Okay, so Clippers I've got as I don't know what the hell they're going to do either. They've got too many of these people that are like two-way players. Well, not really. Yeah. If you can play okay defense, you got to be able to play offense to be a two-way player. Yeah. And so Norman Powell will catch fire sometimes and make a bunch of threes, but I wouldn't necessarily call Norman Powell an offensive juggernaut. Right. Who else is on that list for the Clippers of those old wings that I just don't think are that good, but people think they're the greatest?
Well,
one of those Morrises.
Reggie Jackson's not a wing, but he would probably be in the deal. Is Batum still there? I think he is.
Yeah. One of the Morrises is there. Batum is there.
Yeah.
One of the Morrises is there.
You have all those guys. And the name, I'm sure we're going to get to him, so I'm not going to say anything. But the name that keeps getting mentioned with them makes zero sense whatsoever.
Who's that?
I thought we were going to wait to talk about players. But Zach LaVine is a guy I'm like, how in the world does that fit?
How does a ball-dominant 1-2 combo guard flourish on the same team as Kyrie and Paul George, who are ball-dominant wings? I don't know.
You mean Kawhi. Yeah, Kawhi, right.
What did I say?
You said Kyrie, yeah.
I meant Kawhi. Yeah, sorry, Kawhi and Paul George, yeah. That's a weird fit. So Clippers, I don't know what to make of the Clippers. I don't know what to make of the Hawks. The other teams I think are buyers. These teams are sellers. The Wizards are definitely sellers. I don't think Beal moves, but I think I've heard rumors about Kuzma, and I'm going to tell you, the way Kuzma plays basketball, that son of a gun will fit anywhere in the NBA. He is
perfect. Him in Sacramento. What about him at Sacramento?
He's a better version of Bogdanovich in Sacramento. Now, I don't know if they can fit him in there contract-wise, but if you got a team, Sacramento, that right now, Jonathan, believe it or not, those cats are third in the West, my friend.
Isn't Kuzma 6'10"?
Kuzma's probably 6'9", 6'10", basically, if you move from Barnes to Kuzma, how much better does that make your team? Kuzma is, if their team was winning, he's got borderline all-star statistics, and most people are sleeping on that because they suck. But he's borderline all-star statistics. They're in ninth, believe it or not. They're 24-26, which is about the same record as the Pelicans, who were just recently in first. How fast did that change, right? It's imagine what happens when your two best players just don't play.
They don't play basketball. I know.
Yeah. And so anyway, the Pelicans lost 9 in a row, by the way. So I'm going to be their good luck charm. I'm going to go down there on Saturday. I'm going down there on Saturday. I'm going to watch LeBron. I'm going to miss it by a game, maybe 2. That sucks.
Yeah, he's got to get 89.
89. Right? 89. He's got the Pacers tonight or tomorrow. I can't remember. And then he's got the Pelicans on Saturday. So if he goes 30-30, he's going to be 29 away, which means he's got the Thunder at home, but it's not on national TV. Then he's got the –
It will be.
It's not. It's just not.
I promise you, somehow, some way, that game will end up on national TV.
Okay, well, right now it's on like whatever you call it, Laker Vision or some stupid crap. And then the game after that is TNT, the Bucks at home.
Oh, that would be epic.
Right. So you tell me what is important about the Lakers versus the Bucks.
Well, think about it. Giannis and LeBron.
That's important, but think about whose record he's breaking.
100 times.
Perfect. It's perfect, right?
It really is.
The only thing that's not perfect is that Kareem hates young people. And he hates LeBron.
You know what, though? He said the other day that he doesn't. And I know he does. We know he does. But I'm saying he said the way Wilt treated him was much different than the way he feels about LeBron. So I don't know what that means exactly. But
I don't know what that means either. But I know Kareem hates damn near everybody.
Maybe Kareem hates LeBron a lot more than Wilt hated him. Maybe that's what he meant.
That's, I think, what he meant. I think that's what he meant. Because Kareem doesn't really care for anybody. He is a very stubborn curmudgeon. You like that word?
Curmudgeon. That's an outstanding word and very accurate. Yeah.
Very accurate. All right, let's keep going. Sellers, Wizards, Pacers. but it looks like they may have decided to hold. I don't know. They signed Turner.
Yeah,
you know,
Turner's signing 2 for $60. They're not going to turn around and deal him. They're not doing it.
Well, they're not going to deal him, but are they going to deal anybody else? I mean, there was other guys on that team they were talking about to make room for Mathurin to come in there, like Buddy Hield, who's one of the players we're about to talk about.
Yeah, but Hield's a part of.
Here's the deal. Listen. Duarte, Nembhard, and Neesmith. It's the same player. They got 3 of them, and they got to figure out which one they want to keep, and they need to move at least one of those. It was the same issue that the freaking San Antonio Spurs had when they had DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, Keldon Johnson, Joshua Primo, who molested people or exposed himself, and they had like 6 or 7 of the exact same player, and they ended up moving. Primo, of course, got incarcerated or moved along or whatever, and then Lonnie Walker took off. DeJounte got traded, so now they've kind of opened it up for Keldon Johnson to do his thing. But I don't know. That's kind of the situation the Pacers are in. They got to move one of those guys. Hield, Duarte, Naismith, Nembhard. I can't bet those games. I don't know which one of those guys is going to get all the shots up.
Well, Hield is the piece that people would want, right? Because he fits in as long as you need shooting. But my deal is I've always felt like Buddy Hield's only going to be a piece of a deal. It's not going to be any – I mean, I know the Lakers wanted him and, in all reality.
But let me tell you something, dude. Buddy Hield moves the needle a little bit for that Lakers team.
For that team, right.
He moves the needle more for some teams than others. Let's put it that way.
Oh, anybody who has somebody who's going to get double teamed, he moves the needle for them.
Yeah. Right. There you go. Sellers. These are sellers. Bulls, I think they blow its shit up. They're going to blow the hell out of this thing up. Yeah. I don't know who's going to be left standing at the end of it, though. I mean, I don't know anybody on that team. Who on that team would you build around?
It's good. Well, you're not going to build around DeRozan, but he's going to stay, I think. And I think they're going to try to make it to where he's the second best player on that team with how they build it, which that's not a bad situation. He might
be the second best player right now.
Well, he might be. I mean, from night to night, it depends. But you know what I'm saying. I think it'll be definitive.
Raptors, same question. Raptors, what do they do? Piece this together, blow it up? I mean, how many 6'9" long wings who can't shoot do you want?
Here's the issue, like with the Raptors. Okay, so if they blow it up, they're going to keep Scotty Barnes, who has turned a corner. He's gotten, he's had several good games in a row. But the point is, you're still like, is Scotty Barnes? It's no guarantee that he's ever going to be as good statistically as Siakam's been the last 3 years. You don't know that he's going to do those things because Siakam's been really freaking good.
Siakam's borderline all NBA dude, man. Yeah. Numbers wise.
So that's where you are. And then, Anunoby is, I think, probably the most coveted dude in the league, right, at this point, from a standpoint of how many different teams. There's nobody.
Most coveted tradable guy. Most coveted likely to be traded. Not likely, but
there's no team. He's one of the few guys that there's no team in the league he wouldn't improve.
He's on my list. We're going to talk about him more later. So the Raptors, same position as the Bulls. They got to make a serious decision. I think now's the time to do it, especially if they can get some ping pong balls and chase Wemby. The Magic and the Hornets, I've got them as sellers because the Magic would sell. I think the Magic would sell any player on their entire roster other than Wagner and Banchero. Is there anybody else on that team that they would not move in a deal if it got them picks and or –
Did you say the Magic? Yeah, I agree with that 100%. 100%.
That's it. Yeah. Everybody else, while they may be good players, is not going to move them forward. Like they are years away, in my opinion. Their window is years away from beginning.
Yes.
And that's if they make right decisions. The Hornets, I think, are in the worst position of any team in the NBA. That's my opinion. Worse than the Rockets, worse than the Spurs. That's my opinion.
Yes.
LaMelo is legit. I think somebody we haven't talked about, and I know he's about to become, I guess, eligible on the – I don't know how it works. He's not under contract. Is Miles Bridges.
They were talking – who was it talking about signing him? The Lakers, right? Weren't they at one point?
I don't know how that works with money and caps and all that stuff, but Miles Bridges can – I mean, I know he's made some mistakes, obviously, off the court. Miles Bridges is a relevant player. I mean, an extremely relevant player, and he's young as hell. Remember, we coached against him. He played for Michigan. Remember in the EYBL, we coached against him.
Yeah, he's a really good basketball player. I think it's just so much baggage with what happened that people are hesitant. But I mean, he moves the needle for people for sure. People forget. I mean, he was averaging what he averaged 22 the year before all that happened.
I think at least, yeah. Well, he came out of the gates gangbusters, like most improved player type shit. Like I think he was averaging like 27, 28, and then I think he did fall back. But so the Hornets are sellers. The Warriors are sellers. And when I say the Warriors are sellers, I mean Moody, Wiseman, Kuminga. They want to package those guys and bring in somebody to help them chase this ring.
Are you sure you're hearing Kuminga is in that package?
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I am dead serious. I think he should be in the package.
I think Kuminga's in that effing package. I'm angry that we're hesitating on Kuminga being untradeable. Okay.
I'm not. I'm telling you, I don't think that he's part of the package that they want to move because for whatever the reason, everybody in the world believes that this dude is a potential all-star. He's a potential track star, but not a potential all-star.
I will give you my FanDuel account. I will give you $277.84 if Jonathan Kuminga ever sniffs 20 points a game in the NBA.
Oh,
yeah, never.
There's no way. I mean,
you have to dribble, pass, and shoot to do that, and he can't do those three things, and those are important. He's on my all-airport team. He looks good getting off the airplane, but
I just don't think they're going to put him in the deal, man. I'm telling you.
I think they will for the right player. Holders, and that's just because I think they're good enough to where they're not going to make a move, or they're just firmly entrenched in rebuilding and they're just waiting. And so Boston, I guess they would theoretically like to make a move, but I don't see it happening. And chemistry seems to be so perfect with that team. I think that they would be very hesitant to move. Yeah, they'd be very hesitant to move. Even the lower end guys like a Grant Williams, or somebody like that, I don't think they would move him because I feel like they seem like a really close-knit unit, and I hope they get swept by the Bucks. The Cavs is another team. I don't think they have any pieces to move except for one, and that's Karis LeVert, and he's on my list. He's going to get traded because I don't think his teammates like him. I don't think he fits at all. I don't think he helps the team win, and I think there's a naive team out there that will think Karis LeVert is an instant offense, Jordan Clarkson type. And guess what? I don't think he is. And he's a defensive liability as well. But I bet you anything Karis LeVert gets traded. The Knicks, I know they're talking about trying to do stuff, but I don't know. I mean, they need a – is Mitchell Robinson hurt? What's the deal with that?
He's out. He's been out. It's off and on for him. I mean, he's their Robert Williams, right? I mean, he's
unquestionably perfect comp. Exactly.
Yeah. They need him badly. He makes them, in my opinion does he make them better than the Heat?
Those are two real nasty. I'll tell you what, if there was – remember in the old 90s Knicks Heat matches where it was like 75, 77? Yeah. Those two teams, if they played again, someone would perish. Someone would be deceased at the end of the series. Those teams are tough. Those teams are knock each other's teeth out.
Speaking of that, okay, I was watching a documentary on Malice at the Palace. Have you seen the documentary?
I did not see the whole documentary, no.
Okay, it's good.
But I want to watch it.
Anyhow, the Pistons beat the Pacers in 2004 in the Eastern Conference.
I did see it. Now that I think about it, I did see it.
Did you see the score to the last game of that series?
No.
69-65.
Who did somebody throw 5 touchdowns? How did they score so many points?
I saw it. I was like, they were showing a highlight. I was like, oh, man, they're showing third quarter stuff. No.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. That was it. Shit was different back then.
Yeah.
All right. We've talked enough about that. Anyway, other holders. I've got OKC in my hold because I'm sure they'd package like some of these lower end prospects and a Pokashevsky and people like that if people are believers, but they're really just waiting to see what it looks like with Giddey, SGA, and Chet.
No doubt.
And they're not going to get the pick that we all thought they were going to get.
Because they're better.
They're a lot better than they're supposed to be. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. They're like 4 games out of 4th or something stupid in the West.
Yep.
I don't know how that's happening. The Trailblazers, I was talking about this with some Damian Lillard card collectors on Instagram in a group chat this morning. I think Eubanks is a better fit for the Trailblazers than Nurkic.
I agree.
Because 100%. It's one less mouth to feed.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He plays hard all the time also.
Well, like you said, he's their version of Robert Williams / Walker Kessler / Mitchell Robinson / Clint Capella. He's just the guy. He's never going to post up and say, bring it in. And he's not going to play offense. So that's one less person that Simons and Lillard have to consider passing it to. And I'll be honest with you, Jeremy Grant's not bashful. He'd love to get some more FGAs. And so I think they get better by moving to that true rim running, rim protecting, big who just kind of beats people up the floor and just plays really freaking hard. Nurkic doesn't play hard. I just don't. I think he's a waste of tremendous offensive talent.
A lot of talent, and I think at times he can be actually a much better rim protector than people realize too. But yeah, he's definitely a malcontent. I said he can be a much better rim protector at times too than people realize at times. But he's got to care. He has to care. Okay. But here's my deal. I think the only way the Blazers get out of the situation where they're in, and I get them not doing it, is you have to have Simons in a package. And it's probably Simons, Nurkic, something like that, because Dame Lillard has to have his equal on that team if they're going to be a championship contender.
Simon's not there.
And it's not there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. All right, let's talk about our 5 guys. I'm just going to start at the beginning. I don't know which one's which, but the one on the Pistons, Bogdanovic.
Yes.
I don't know. They're both.
Bogey is on the Hawks.
Yeah. This is the big one that's actually playing, that's actually flourishing. Yeah. And it's averaging big numbers, to believe it or not. So I think he's a sell high. I think it's a great time for the Pistons to cash in because their window is, again, like the Magic, their window is probably a year or two off, right, from being relevant. And Bogdanovic is 34. Yep. And so he would be a great sell high. His age window just doesn't fit with Cade and Ivy and Jalen Duren and all the rest of those guys. He helps them lose games now. If they move him, they literally might not win a game in the second half.
That's right.
Is that fair? Like they would firmly entrench themselves and say, you know what, we're here to be part of this Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. So that would help him. It would be a dual-edged sword that would help him both ways. Moving him would get him something back and maybe a pick, and then moving him would help him lose games, which would help him with ping pong balls. He has 2 more years with Detroit, so they don't have to panic immediately. But he's on not a bad contract. All these guys that I'm about to talk about are 17 to 20 million, Jonathan. So Bogdanovic has 3 years left. He's 19, 5, 20, and then 19. So that's not a bad contract for a contending team whose window is maybe 3 years. Like, I don't know if that makes sense for a team like I'm thinking of teams that are probably almost on the way out. I don't know any good examples of this, but I don't know. Do you want 3 years of Bogdanovic for 20 million? He's 34.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that old. That's older than
that's old, man. That means I'm good at math. That means he's 37 at the end of this contract. Can he help teams? Can he stay in one piece at age 37? The way he plays helps, but
here's my thing. Okay, wherever he goes, in order for him to matter, he has to be, worst case, the third option offensively, right?
Third or fourth?
No, I'm saying in order for him to matter, he ain't gonna go somewhere and be the fourth and be effective. Unless he's coming off the bench.
Oh, right? I'm looking at it the other way. If he goes somewhere and he's the second best player, you're not winning anyway.
No, I agree.
Okay.
But my point is, if he's okay being the fourth best guy, then that's huge. Because now you've got, the Russell Westbrook effect off of the bench for the Lakers, which has actually ended up working out okay at times. Right?
I'm so glad for him too. I really am glad for him.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, they were talking about Bogdanovic. The problem is, the money doesn't work, whatever. So he's got to be somewhere.
No, the money does work. The money does work. Westbrook? Oh, not with Westbrook. I'm talking about Bogdanovic can find his way onto the Lakers without moving Westbrook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I heard. Maybe I'm wrong, but it needed I forget who, but they got 2 contracts they need to send out, and then of course the picks are going to have to go. But maybe I'm wrong. Somebody who's better than us at salary cap and stuff like that is going to comment below and let us know. But I was under the impression it is possible without moving Westbrook to bring Bogdanovic in. But I don't know.
That's where he needs to be because that's the perfect spot where he can make a difference. In
Lakers, Mavs, Pels. Which team would benefit the most by adding Bogdanovic?
Either the Pels or the Lakers. I don't think the Mavs benefit because he goes there. He's their second best player. Great. And you're spending, it is only 17 or 20 million, whatever. But you're cutting into like Luka needs his equal, man, or close to it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they keep talking Zach LaVine. Now, here's the deal. If I'm the Mavs, I would rather Bogdanovic than Zach LaVine, obviously, right? Just from
I'd rather neither.
I'm with you, but I'm saying like if you maybe pick, because I can go get somebody else too, right? So that's where the money works. But no, the Lakers would be a perfect fit for him, I think.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler would be the perfect sidekick for Luka. I know he's not on the trade block and all that, but I think that would be the perfect sidekick because he can play make, he can create, he can post smaller guards, he plays his ass off on defense. And the Mavs need to upgrade on defense, man. I mean, I know he's fifth guard, but like
he thinks he's the best player every time he walks out.
Yeah, but I think he would be okay playing with Luke. I don't think it would be a friction issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it would be because there's no friction with him and Adebayo. I mean, it's not like
No, I'm just saying like he's going to carry himself like an alpha, regardless.
Yeah,
in a good way. Yeah.
So Bogdanovich was number 1 on my list, not in any particular order, but he's an interesting piece. I mean, he helps some of these other Kings. If he goes to the Kings and he replaces Barnes straight up somehow, they move a bunch of crap from the bench and then some contracts and some picks, and the Kings can somehow bring Bogdanovich in. Now the Kings matter. Now the Kings they matter, man. Yeah. And then the next guy on our list is OG Anunoby. We talked a little bit about him. He's only 25.
Back up 1 second.
Okay.
Go back to Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
And I know your immediate knee-jerk reaction, but just hear me out for a second, okay? What about him in Denver? And I know Denver's not looking right now, but what about him in Denver and possibly moving Michael Porter Jr.? Because I'm not sure that dude is ever going to be what we hoped he was going to be. Now, granted, I don't know if you can take that chance, right? And here's my reason. I think physically he's going to be okay. He's never going to be completely okay with being the third option. It's just never.
You don't think so?
No, I do not. He pouts every time I watch him play. I feel like he pouts.
No, but he might just be a pouty kid. He might have pouted in high school when he was the man. Maybe. I don't know. He seems like he's just kind of entitled. Like that just might be who he is.
Yeah, maybe right. You may be right.
I mean, he's 48, 41, 77. And
no, he's special talent-wise, dude. Don't get me wrong. He's much more talented than Bogdanovich. I'm not saying that.
Well, does it change anything with the Nuggets if you bring in Bogdanovich? He's not a better shooter.
No, but is he a more reliable guy?
Oh, well, like being on the court and not being injured, the answer to that is yes, anybody is.
And consistency
other than Anthony Davis.
Consistency of play, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really good in Utah, man, with those teams. And they had good players on those teams.
But here's the deal. You're not trading Michael Porter Jr. in a situation where you're 3 games up in the West. And you haven't had Michael Porter Jr. for a lot of the season, and Jamal Murray is just now rounding into form. There's just no way.
And you're not getting a 34-year-old. That's really the key. I mean,
that's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. Who is it? Spam. All right, so let's talk about Anunoby. Anunoby's number 2 on our list. He's 18 to 19 million. He's actually cheaper than Bogdanovich. He's 9 years younger. He is a lockdown perimeter defender, very versatile defender. Can guard 1 through probably 4 if you asked him to. Mm-hmm. He can shoot threes, which I never thought I would ever say that. I really never thought I would ever say that, but he can shoot threes. The problem is he's recently decided he's like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan instead of OG Anunoby. So he's really taking a lot of shots this year. And that's why his scoring has jumped to 16.9. His field goal percentage is actually down from his career. His threes are down from his career, but it's because he's taking more shots, and he's probably taking shots that in the years past he would pass up, and now he's taking those shots. Believe it or not, he's a worse than average PER. Like based on PER, he's worse than an average player in the NBA career and this year. And that shocks me.
Yeah.
That shocks me, man.
I think just think about teams, though, that he would make better. Like that deal in Toronto is a freaking chaos right now. We know that.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's shooting shots that he shouldn't shoot because he's trying to prove a point probably that he's a better offensive player than he is for trade bait. But nonetheless, I mean, you put him – I mean, just think about him with Philadelphia. Think about him with –
Think about him Portland instead of Simons.
Yes.
Does that make Portland better?
Yes. 100%. Because think about it. Lillard is already kind of neutralizing Simons by himself anyhow because he's putting up such amazing numbers. Grant is that dude that doesn't care who either one of those dudes is. He's just going to play hard and go. He's going to go get 20, 21 a night on his thing. He doesn't need the ball, right? And so Simons is a dude who is suffering, I feel like, and he's averaging 21. I got it. But, like, if you go look at his box scores, it's 12, then 25, then 11, then, you know. Anunoby is a perfect fit. Now, here's the problem. He does not make them a title contender.
No. The only thing that makes them a title contender is adding a 5-man who is elite.
Or Kevin Durant.
Well,
like something like that.
I'm talking about realistic trade possibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously. Yes, Luka would help him. And so would LeBron. That's interesting because if it's just hypothetically, and again, we don't know shit about salary caps or numbers or all that crap. But like if Anunoby was on the Blazers and Simons moved to Toronto, they could move Van Vliet for pretty good value. And now you've got Simons, Siakam, Scotty Barnes. If you can move Van Vliet for any relevant type of big, now you've got a really exciting young team in Toronto,
no doubt.
with explosive offensive firepower.
Yes. Yeah. But my deal with Anunoby, though, I mean, is he not, in your opinion, like a perfect Miami Heat player?
He is.
Right? I mean, somebody like that. Now, the Bucks, how much better does he make the Bucks today?
Oh, dude, it's a wrap. Like he changes the betting odds if he's a Buck. I mean, you take off Grayson Allen and replace him with one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA who can do the same thing as Grayson Allen, and you've got problems.
Right.
Yeah, you got real problems. Drew Holiday, Anunoby, Giannis, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton. That's the best 6 in the NBA, and it's not even remotely close.
And now you have 3 of the scariest guys in the league on the court at one time, and Portis, Giannis, and Anunoby.
Yeah, right. That's right. Interesting. So he's 17 million, 18 million, 19 million. So he's a 3-year guy. And so he is an extremely attractive asset, but it's going to take some serious loot in return because Toronto doesn't have to rush it. They got him for 3 years on a great contract. So they don't have to rush it. Number 3 player on my list, we talked about him briefly, Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's 30. I didn't know he's that old. He's 30. He is the best marksman on the market. Buddy Hield or Bogdanovich? Who's a better shooter? Hield. Better 3-point shooter for sure. Bogdanovich has a little more mid-range game, a little bit more of a 2-level score. Yeah. Hield, you don't see very much. Maybe a little bit of pull-up dribble game, but no back-to-the-basket stuff at all. No real mid-range isolation type game. No. So he's a true marksman on the outside. Like he would be for the Lakers, like what they were hoping Lonnie Walker was, right? Which was this guy who could just catch and shoot, basically. And if somebody runs at you, take a dribble and dunk it, or take a dribble and pull up. So Hield would be a massive addition. What do you think about Buddy Hield on the Mavericks? Could they finish games with Doncic, Dinwiddie, and Hield all on the floor?
If they had a 15-point lead, yeah, I think so.
They're getting worse at defense if you add Hield. And that's scary, right, for the Mavericks, who are
a lot worse, too.
That's baby shit, like to quote some of our friends in the AAU world. The Mavericks needed Anunoby. They don't need Hield. They need somebody to go the other direction and have some balls and be a nasty defender on that team.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hield's an interesting fit. Where does Hield fit the best? I mean, of our buyer teams, we got the Lakers, the Mavs. I think he's great for the Lakers, but the Lakers, the Mavs, the Pelicans, nowhere to put him.
You could bring him off the bench. Him off the bench.
That's a lot of money to bring somebody off the bench. He's 21 and then 20.
Yeah, but I mean, look, man, I think you keep in mind that he's a dude who can finish games. I just think he's the perfect scoring punch off the bench guy for a championship team. I don't think he's a starter on a championship team. That's just me.
No, I don't think he's a starter on a championship team either, unless he's on the Bucks, like we mentioned.
Now, with the Lakers, if AD's healthy the whole time, granted they're not a championship team still, but like if the Lakers are healthy, he could start for that team and it makes them better, right?
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I agree. It's just an issue because he's so bad defensively, and in the playoffs, you can literally eliminate somebody like that if you want to.
What about going back to the Kings?
Now
you got Fox, you got Hield at the 2.
He was so bad when he left, though. Like that went so.
It did. Yeah, I don't remember
that happened, but from on paper fit, yeah, absolutely,
really good fit. And then what about the Clippers? Clippers is another team that's in buying mode.
Now, see, that makes sense to me, right, with those guys because they need a guy to kick out to who's going to make every open shot pretty much. And and he is most certainly that. So I think it's just a matter of, can they I mean, who did they give up to get Buddy Hield? I guess they have plenty of assets to give up.
Well, it depends if the Pacers are giving up or not. Like we talked about it, we don't know if they're sellers or if they're holders. Like we don't. What are the Pacers doing? I have no idea. Let's look at the standings. I mean, the Pacers are
or the Clippers. I thought we were talking about the Clippers.
We are, but Buddy Hield's on the Pacers.
Oh yeah.
So like we don't know if the Pacers would even are they even going to trade Hield? I mean, I keep hearing his name over and over and over and over, but I mean. Would the Pacers be looking for a piece to win now, or would they be looking for prospects and a pick? They're 24-28. They're 13 games back at first. They're in 10th. They're hanging on to 10th with the Bulls and the Raptors behind them.
Yeah.
The Wizards, the Pacers, the Bulls, and the Raptors. Which of those three teams make the play-in? You got to pick two.
The Wizards, the Bulls, the Pacers, and who? The Magic?
Raptors.
Or the Raptors. The Pacers, I would say.
It's tough.
Halliburton's got to be healthy. But Hield, to me, makes a lot more sense on a team looking to make a deep playoff run.
It's already there. Yeah.
Than he does for the Pacers.
The next guy is a guy I am not high on, but his name is coming up because I think the Cavs would generously hand him over, and that's Karis LeVert. He's only 28, but he's been through some, he had a horrific injury. He's an out-of-control, inefficient gunslinger. Best case, he wants to be Jordan Clarkson. That's the comp that he wishes he was, but he's more likely Will Barton, who is another guy who is a out-of-control, inefficient gunslinger who plays no defense. So the question is, does LeVert, when you're trading players, the question's not, is this player going to help the team he's being traded to? It's, does that GM think this player is going to help the team he's being traded to by being this offensive punch, this offensive scorer, this wing scorer, this sixth man of the year type candidate? Is there a team out there that would believe that LeVert could be that guy for them?
Here's what I see happening with him, because like you said, he is those guys that you talked about. I could see I could see them trading him, Cleveland trading him, addition by subtraction, right? You get rid of him. And then whoever takes him in, waives him, dumps him, whatever, because just to clear salary cap space.
He's at $19 million. This is it. This is last season he's under contract.
Yeah.
So he'd be a rental, and I don't know how expiring contracts and all that crap works. So somebody who's smart can comment.
He's a perfect scorer on a terrible team that'll never make the playoffs. That's what he is. He could do. Look, he could go average 20 on an awful team, right? He could.
He'd average 20 for the Hornets next to Rozier and LaMelo Ball, or he'd try.
Yeah.
Van Vliet is my fifth one. I've heard his name mentioned, man, but you got to find a team that's willing to buy it. So my question to you is this: is there a contending team out there? Right? He's 28 years old. He's 21 and 22 million, which is a pretty good contract for an all-star. He's an all-star point guard. Now he's having a terrible season. He's shooting the ball horrible.
He's trending down.
He is trending down, and he's chubby and all that. I get all that. But is there a team out there that is contending that doesn't already have a true point guard?
Well, I don't. First of all, I don't.
Let's go through the standings.
Point guard, I guess, just because he's short doesn't make him a true point guard.
No, he's a true point guard. He's definitely a true point guard.
I mean, does he facilitate for people? He's too chunky to go by people and create space. I mean, the only chunkier guy to him in the league is Kyle Lowry, and they are both trending down really, really fast.
They're the same player. He is averaging 19.5, 4.5 rebounds, which is a lot for a little fat guy, and 6.6 assists. His rebounds are up. His points are up on his career. His assists are up on his career. Now, here's the issue. He's shooting 34% from three, which doesn't sound – it's not the end of the world, right? You expect better, obviously, from a guy who's supposed to be a good shooting point guard. That's the problem. It's 39.8%. And the reason is he can't make twos because he can't create any space at all. But he's 90% from the line, and he's 17.3 PER, which is really good. It's actually up over his career PER. So I think that it's possible if the Raptors wanted to aggressively try to move him and just really hit that reset button and really go full speed ahead with Scotty Barnes as this point forward type, right? This Giannis type point forward, which they're doing it now already. Yeah. He just doesn't fit their theory of we're going to have the longest team in the world that can get out and recover and help and challenge. Van Vliet doesn't fit that at all. And maybe they're thinking, well, if we just replace Van Vliet, now we really are five deep with guys that can get out and contest and recover and run and, guard multiple positions.
who does he go to that he makes better?
That's my question. So let's pull up the standings. Here's the teams. Boston, of course not. Milwaukee, no chance. The Sixers have 2 point guards already. The Nets, of course not. Kyrie's there, and he's already a defensive liability. The Cavaliers have the best backcourt in the NBA, or arguably. The Miami Heat.
He is not a Miami Heat player.
Why? He is exactly a Miami. He is Kyle Lowry.
You think he's a defender?
Why? I don't think Kyle Lowry's a defender anymore.
Exactly, and that's why Kyle Lowry is about to be on his way out.
Okay. The Knicks, there's nowhere to put him because they've got Brunson, who is a left-handed version of Van Vliet, only more efficient. The Hawks, we know they have too many point guards.
I can't believe you just did that. I can't believe you just did that to Jalen Brunson.
Why? Well, I'm just saying, a little dumpy, light-skinned point guard who's short. I mean, he's better. I said he's more efficient. He's left-handed. What do you mean? Why didn't disparage Jalen Brunson?
Better at everything. He's better at everything.
Okay, maybe he is. He is. Okay, fine. Well, I said better. He's a better version of Van Vliet. And then the Washington Wizards. What about the Washington Wizards?
I guess I meant teams that
don't even have a point guard.
I guess I meant teams that matter. Yeah.
Okay. So well, yeah, you did say that, so I should have stopped. Denver, no chance. Nope. Grizzlies, no, they've got one. The Kings have got one. The Clippers.
Ooh. Now, that's the only one that could make some sense. I was thinking you would get to that point. The only other thing that makes sense to me is if he's willing to come off the bench somewhere, right? That's a huge deal. Okay, but
again, for sure,
$21 million. That's a lot, but still.
What about a Trey Mann type deal, or was it Terrence Mann? Sorry, Terrence Mann type deal, who would fit really well, over with Toronto. Assuming, of course, Anunoby's there in his position. He's not really a point guard, so he fits the mold, but there's really no place to put that another wing. Right. They really do need to get another point guard in return.
Yes.
You know what? A team that they may want to talk to if they want to just get younger and add a point guard is probably the Magic. Think about that.
It's not a bad point because
the Magic have too many point guards.
They have people who are literally just, completely rotting away on the bench, right?
Yeah, like RJ Hampton is a great example. I wonder if we don't know what RJ Hampton is.
You won't as long as he's there.
Because of Suggs, Fultz, and Cole Anthony. There's too many of them. Yep. Man, if there's a way that
Wagner handled the ball.
And Wagner handles it.
Yeah.
If there's a way that Toronto could finagle Cole Anthony, is Cole Anthony a starting NBA point guard or is he a bench guy?
Not on a championship team. He would be a great bench dude, though. I think.
That's an interesting question is, would the Raptors roll the dice on a Cole Anthony in exchange for a deal sending Fred VanVleet there? I don't know anything about numbers and contracts. I'm sure VanVleet's very expensive and Cole Anthony's very cheap because he's on a rookie deal. But
VanVleet, you just said, is $22 million.
Well, that's very expensive compared to a rookie deal.
No doubt. But, could Cole Anthony, for example, can he be Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah.
Considering what Jordan Clarkson was at the beginning of his career, which was one of my 5 least favorite players to watch play.
Agreed.
And now he is now.
Agreed.
And, it's possible.
Yeah, it is possible.
Yeah.
Is there any way he would fit on the Pelicans?
Cole Anthony? Or are you talking about VanVleet?
VanVleet. We're staying with VanVleet.
That's a possibility. Again, though, he has to come off the bench because he's irrelevant in that starting lineup. Irrelevant.
Well, he can't come off the bench because Alvarado's your midget off the bench.
Well, then he doesn't fit because you've got 3 guys who you'd rather have the ball in their hands at all times than him. So, is he a dude who can be a 4th guy who can shoot it? Yeah, sure. But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think it makes him better. That's all.
Yeah.
Because now you're taking minutes from somebody who is probably a better fit. So.
Yeah. All right. Enough trade talk. We're done. We're at 53. We got to play Who's That Dude? We got to whip through this.
Let's go.
And I brought some heat. Okay. So you're going to feel really stupid.
See the player this time. That's what I want to know. Can I see the player?
Fingers, toes, maybe. At best. Maybe a shoelace or 2. Maybe an elbow pad. Anybody, if you guys are still watching the video, God bless you. Let us know in the comments some guys that you think are on the trade block. I picked 5 at random. These are not the top 5. These are not the 5 most impressive. These are not the 5 most valuable. Just kind of give us your thoughts. Let us know who you think would be a good trade to another team. And again, we apologize. I did no research on salary caps and who can fit where. So we may have said stuff that makes no sense financially. We're just kind of talking through the basketball X's and O's of it and who makes who better and who fits good where.
There were 2 guys that we didn't really we mentioned, but we didn't really talk about. One of them, shockingly, is now, I don't think, going to be moved. And I know he's got the big number, but I think he's not going to get moved anyhow because of playing, and that's Russ. I don't think Westbrook's going to get moved.
I don't think they're going to move him.
Yeah, and then Levine's going to move, dude. They're going to move him. So I'm just interested. Now, he's got a big number, $34 million, but, I mean, somebody's going to take a shot at him.
Who?
I don't know, and I don't know what the package looks like.
Magic?
You know, what about Philly? Does Philly take a shot at him?
How in the hell are you going to fit him in there?
Well, you got to get rid of a bunch of dudes, right? Maxey has to be in that deal, unfortunately.
Could you imagine freaking Harden and Levine next to each other with Embiid on the floor?
Can you imagine Harden and Levine trying to guard somebody?
PJ Tucker's fat ass is not picking up the slack. I can tell you that. Levine is on the move. All right, you're on the books. Levine is on the move. If there was a FanDuel bet for Levine being traded, what do you think the odds would be? Even money?
Plus 205. Yeah.
Okay, so not certain, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Did you have another guy?
Oh, wait. I said plus 205. That's wrong. Minus 205.
Minus 2. So you think it's going to happen. Did you have another guy besides Levine?
No,
okay, Levine. Okay, let's play Who's That Dude? Can we play the game?
Go. I'm ready.
Okay, I've got it. I'm going to put you over on screen share. I've got 5 cards that I own that I've pulled up in the vault. You're going to like the fact that Michael Jordan is featured on each one of these cards. These are all Michael Jordan cards, okay? Yes. We're not going in any particular order. I'm not going in order from hardest to easiest.
Sorry, my bad.
We're going to start with this one. We're going to give the people 5 seconds, 10 seconds to freaking look, okay? So don't blurt out answers, okay? I know you want to say it. You're going to feel bad. It's not C.J. McCollum, although that fade looks just like C.J. McCollum, doesn't it?
What's the year, by the way? 95. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, this is 1995. I'll let you figure out the team. Let the people look for a little bit. We're going to give them 10 seconds to look while we talk about it. But this is the 1995 EXL. This is the blue parallel. Not a crazy valuable card. You want to guess the value of the card while the people are watching?
95, $200.
Good, not bad. $182.
Okay.
Pretty good looking card. There's a blue one and a black border, so they're very similar looking, but this is the little bit more rare blue border. So go ahead, give me your best bet. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I knew right away who this was. We are the same age, and so if you don't know who this is, you're gonna have to take my word for it that I knew. But go ahead, you give your best.
Okay, so that's the Mavericks, obviously.
Yes.
I'm thinking 95, so I'm thinking that's Jim Jackson.
It's not.
Okay.
I don't even like that guess. I'll be quite honest with you.
I mean, Jim Jackson's pretty ripped up. That's the thing. Okay, hold on. Can you make it a little bit? Can you blow it up for me a little bit? Oh yeah, that dude doesn't have a muscle. Oh my God. Dallas 95.
It's obscure. You asked for more. You asked for harder, and so I'm obliging. I'm anxious to see.
Again, no. I mean, I think this is fair. I do. Let's see. So who was on that team? Mashburn was on that team. It's obviously not him. Jason Kidd was on that team. Obviously not him. Jim Jackson. Derek Harper's long gone. He's with the Knicks.
You ready? You don't know it.
I don't.
Just face it. Tony Dumas.
How do you know?
I just know because I know what Tony Dumas looks like. That's where it's my show, and you're just gonna have to take my word for it. That's Tony Dumas. We can always let the viewers decide if they've got another guy in mind. They can, but that's Tony Dumas. I am positive of it. And
did you check to see if Tony Dumas was on that team?
Tony Dumas is on that team.
You checked?
I checked.
Okay.
I do my research. I vet my statistics. I get it done. Tony Dumas, that's him. That's Tony Dumas. Now, let me ask you this question. If you get this, I'll be super shocked. Where did Tony Dumas go to college? Because I didn't know this. I had no idea.
He sounds like he went to Oklahoma State.
He does. He does. Or Louisiana Tech. But he didn't.
Yeah.
He went to Missouri, Kansas City. To Missouri, Kansas City. All right, that's card number 1. That was a tough one. I will admit that was a very tough one because he's very obscure. Did not play a lot of minutes in the NBA. You're going to really have to work through this. This is not easy.
Hey, by the way, real quick, you're Tony Dumas. Here's why it's fair, because I'm not sure. First of all, you don't know that that's Tony Dumas. But second of all, I'm not sure I'd know Tony Dumas if I saw his face. So it's fair. It's fair.
Fun. Here's the difference. You watched a lot of basketball. You watched NBA games that year, right? A lot of them probably. Right. You never saw Tony Dumas because he never played. But guess what I was doing in those years? I was collecting basketball cards. So I looked at Tony Dumas's card 50 times for your 0. And that's why I know it was Tony Dumas. Okay. But let that one go. So next card, 93 Upper Deck, base card, number 23, not coincidentally, is the PSA 10. How much is the card worth while the people are watching the screen? Look, I'm going to zoom in right there. But how much is this card worth, John?
I'm going to guess, so 93. And it's number – does the fact that it is number 23 have anything to do with the price?
Wait, I screwed this up. Hang on. What did I do? Oh, no, I got it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna throw this out there. I know it's one of 4 people, but I don't know which of the 4 it is.
Hold on, dude. I'm trying to give you the cost.
Okay, give me the cost.
I asked a question. Does the fact that it's number 23 in the collection doesn't have anything to do with it? No,
that's the card number in the set. It's not like serial numbered or anything.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll guess $300.
$125. Okay. Very common card. Lots of them out there. So give me your best bet. This is not easy, and there is no conclusive answer. And this is where we're going to need people to come in. Let me see if I can make the picture.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that.
Does it really even make it bigger? Does that make it any bigger?
Not really.
Not really. It's the best I can do, man.
Okay.
You're seeing what I'm seeing.
93 Lakers. I can't even see the dude's head.
Let me tell you where I started. So we know it's the Lakers. We know he is not a big because you can tell he's at least a wing or smaller. We also know his jersey number is single digits because there's just no room to put 2 digits. You would see it on one or other side of Jordan's right foot.
He has hair, right?
He's a human because he's got fingers.
No, I mean, in other words, he's not bald.
I don't know. I can't tell if that's a shadow or not. He could be bald, which if you could determine whether he had hair or not, you could eliminate one of these guys. But here are the 4 choices. Number 1 is a guy named Dwayne Cooper, who I've never heard of. He was on that roster for the Lakers that year. Yeah. Number 2 is Anthony Peeler, who I'm leaning towards Peeler because he's bald. He played more often than Dwayne Cooper or the next guy. So Anthony Peeler would be my guess if I had to guess. There's another guy, Sedale Threet, which
that's who I was thinking it was, but I've got to see.
Fair bet. It's a fair bet. It's quite possible it is Sedale Threet. And then the last guy is Byron Scott, but I don't think it's Byron Scott because I think he's bigger. I think Byron Scott's forearms would be bigger.
Well, and you already had Byron Scott on, when I couldn't see anybody. Hang on one second.
Oh, so you admit it was Byron Scott that you couldn't see?
No. I definitely didn't do that. Hang on. I'm looking at this card. Okay, dude has hair.
Does he for sure have hair?
He definitely for sure has hair.
It might be Dwayne Cooper. I don't know. All right, we're going to have to make a decision. Let me ask you this. Where did Anthony Peeler go to college?
Missouri.
And Byron Scott went to?
Arizona State.
You're not going to know Dwayne Cooper, right?
No.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I'm going to say Dwayne Cooper sounds like he went to Valparaiso.
He went to USC. And then do you realize where Sedale Threet went to school is the school I've never heard of in my life? I still don't think this is right. It could be a typo.
Man.
West Virginia Tech.
Yeah. At one point I knew that just because I was like you.
I've never heard of that in my life.
This dude's got hair, man.
Card number 2. Just chew on it, right? Chew on it. Go back and watch the video. Okay. We've got, obviously, I'm not even going to talk about, Sir Charles. Everybody's going to recognize Charles Barkley. This is a 1993 Ultra, so that means it was taken either in 92 or 93, probably 92. It's a PSA 10. It's a base card. It's a very, common card, highly produced card. What do you think the card's worth?
I'm going to say $100.
$125. Pretty good. You're getting pretty good at this.
Right.
Who's that on his off Jordan's right hip? You can go ahead and guess it.
Can you open? It looks like Scott Williams, but it's really small.
Scott Williams.
Yeah, Scott Williams.
Where did Scott go to college?
North Carolina.
And then I'm not going to ask you that little ear right there. See the edge of that guy's head?
That's
tough. And then you can't tell.
That might be Richard Dumas. No, I'm serious.
I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I'm not going to hold you to that one. I'm going to let you off the hook.
That's fair. I don't even know what team it is.
And we don't know who this guy's arm is because it's a forearm and a hand, and it looks like a lot of other black guys in the NBA's arms and hands.
And it's not big enough to be Mark West. So
I'm asking too much if I'm asking you on that. But anyway, okay, so that's card number 3. Card number 4. This one it got a bevy of players, and you're going to like this one. And it's an interesting card. It's a unique card. So we got Jordan Black, right? Ran the 11 Concords, and he's dunking. I'm not even going to test you on that. That's Tony Kukoc. We know that. I'm not going to test you here because we know number 33 on the Bulls was obviously Scottie Pippen. Right. We've got 3 Washington Bullets in the very distant background, and I think you're going to get 2 out of 3. If you get all 3, I will literally turn the video off, run out of the room, into the street naked.
All right, let's see.
Okay, start with the one furthest in the back.
You got to blow it up for me, though.
You're getting.
Okay, hang on. Let me pull.
You should still get it. It's a white guy on the Wizards in the year 1995, and he's trailing the play by like 70 yards. So
that's got to be Murasan.
It's Murasan. Okay, it's Murasan. Murasan did not attend college, so you don't have to name his college. These next 2, I think you can get. I'm worried you're going to guess the wrong guy on 21, but I think you can get him.
What's this card again? What's the card?
It's called Stadium Club Special Forces. It's 1996, so you're talking about probably a 95 season. Good-looking card.
Stadium Club Jordan. Okay. Just give me a second because I'm trying.
Are you trying to find the card?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see if I can blow it up a little bit further. All right.
I don't think it's going to help.
I can't find it. Okay. Is that Jahidi White? Is that one of those guys?
An absolutely fantastic guess, but it is not Jahidi White.
Okay.
He wasn't on that team, but I want to make sure he wasn't on that team.
Oh, you sure that's not Jahidi White?
I'm pretty sure that's not Jahidi White.
Because I'm almost positive he was number 55.
He wasn't.
He wasn't number 55?
In fact, I know it's not Jahidi White because I know whose jersey – I know who it is because I had the wrong.
The problem is I can't see it, man.
I'm sorry. That's the best I can do. The limits of Cajun ingenuity and technology are real.
And then 21 for the Bulls.
This is the one I feel like you should get, and if you don't know it, tell me, and I'll give you a hint that'll probably help.
Yeah, I just can't see it. Like he looks like Vashawn Leonard from far back, but I don't think he ever played for the Bullets.
So, no, it's not Vashawn. Vashawn's thicker.
Yeah. Okay, give me a hint.
There's a Louisiana flavor to him. Went to college in Louisiana, and his kid played here in Louisiana, and we didn't coach. You weren't coaching when he played here, but he was on a really good local high school team.
Really good local.
All right, we're taking too long. That is Liddell Eccles.
Oh, yeah, way back. Yeah.
And he went to –
very good call.
You know where he went to school?
Liddell Eccles went to UNO.
Yes, UNO, University of New Orleans.
Yes.
Who is no longer Division I. I think they're like Division III.
Well, they've been back and forth like 5 times.
They keep doing that. I don't know why. And then this gentleman over here, the Jahidi White lookalike. Jahidi White's a great guess. Jahidi White, I think, was later. I think he was like
maybe so. Yeah.
I think he was late 90s. But big, kind of chubby-looking power forward back there is not Jahidi White. It's a gentleman named Bob McCann, who I have never in my life heard of.
Okay.
I would be shocked if Bob McCann even had a basketball card because I've never heard the guy's name in my entire life. Comment below if you've heard of Bob McCann. He went to Uppsala College and then Morehead State.
Well, I tell you what, this card right here is special.
That's special. You're talking about 1, 2, and there's another white forearm out here that we could have even guessed at. Because there's not that many white guys on the Washington Wizards 95 team, probably.
Probably Legler.
We could guess Tom Gugliotta, maybe.
No, it might be Legler.
Could be Legler. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people showing up on one card is like a 4-leaf clover. All right, last card. Oh, by the way, how much is that card worth? It's a PSA 8 grade, so it's a lower graded card. But I will tell you the card's unique. It's pretty rare. It's more rare than the other cards we've looked at.
$300.
$80. Grade matters. Grade matters. I'm just telling you, grade matters. If it was a PSA 10, it'd be worth thousands.
Okay.
Okay. The last card is called the 1992 Fleer Team Leader. So we're talking early Jordan. The picture was probably taken from his first championship year where they beat the Lakers, right?
Lakers. Yep.
Team Leaders, PSA 8. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people that I can count. 2 of them we know for absolute certain, okay? 2 of them we definitely know, and then you're definitely going to get them right. So go ahead and give me the 2 that you know of for sure.
Here's my issue. Why is Stacey King is jumping for that rebound, I guess. That's what I was trying to figure out. It looks like he's guarding Jordan. And then you got Will Purdue
Jordan's getting his stats. Jordan's snatching that. He's not giving that stat up.
And then Will Purdue is down there. King,
where'd they go to school? Where'd Stacey King go to school?
Stacey King went to Oklahoma, and they lost to Danny Manning in Kansas in the 88 Final Four.
National College Player of the Year, if I recall. Maybe.
Manning was.
Manning was for sure?
Yeah, 100%.
But, I mean, that couldn't have been his junior year?
Yeah, you may be right. Maybe
I need to check on that. We'll check on that later. And then Will Purdue went to
Vanderbilt.
Yep. So do you want to take a guess at the bull back there?
Yeah, give me an open go back.
Best I can do.
Is that Randy Brown, maybe?
It could be Pippen.
That looks like a 1. That number.
His arm doesn't look long enough. It looks like a 3 to me. I'm guessing. I'm not going to hold you to that one. Okay, so we're going to let that one go.
Is it DJ Armstrong?
What about it? Could be, dude. It could be. I don't know. We don't have enough. That's a Byron Scott type deal. What about the Miami? Oh, I shouldn't have given it away, but could you tell that was a Miami Heat uniform?
Is it Cycli or is it?
Well, that's the thing. It's a white guy.
I know.
So that narrows it down to there's
91. Cycli was there.
There is 2. Cycli was there. I will confirm. Cycli was there. Where'd Cycli go to college?
Syracuse. That's him. Look, he's got a tan arm. Look, that's him.
Well, do you want to try to name the other white guy that was on Miami that year?
I feel like there was a big, or was it John Sunvold? No, I think
Sunvold was on that team, but Sunvold's too little to be anywhere near this. He's standing on the perimeter.
Oh, man,
Alec Kessler.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. But I think that's Cycli though.
I thought Cycli was A, hairier, and B, much bigger.
No. He wasn't a huge dude. I mean, he was tall, but he wasn't like a big muscular guy. But you may be right. He was hairier. He was probably hairier than that. Yeah.
But here's the problem. I don't think Kessler had one shred of muscle in his pasty body, and this guy's arms look okay.
Yeah. And why would he be in the game when Michael Jordan was in the game? That's the thing. So
Cycli looked like Teen Wolf. Cycli was so hairy that I just don't think that could be Cycli. But Kessler is paler and had no muscle at all. It's almost like an in between. It's like a Ronnie Kessler or Alex Cycli. We don't know what it is. Where did Kessler go to college? You know that.
Georgia.
Yeah, went to Georgia. So and then that card's worth $200. I'll just give it to you. It's the PSA 8. Confusing. All right. Anyway, that's it, man. That's it for Who's That Dude. I came with some heat there. That was tough, Jonathan.
That was really good.
None of those were easy. And there's still some lingering doubts out there about some of those. I'm anxious to see who people think some of those guys are in the comments if older people watch this.
I'm not trusting your Tony Dumas one because you don't trust it. The rest of them, it's good stuff.
No, I'm 100% positive that's Tony Dumas.
Well, you were 100% positive it was Byron Scott.
And I'm 100% still positive. I'm right. That's Tony Dumas or CJ McCollum took a time machine. That's Tony Dumas right there, dude. I don't know how you can even argue. Of all the crap that we just looked at and guessed at, that's the one certainty is that's Tony Dumas. That's Tony Dumas as much as that's Michael Jordan he's defending.
You sure that wasn't really was an 87 card and that was Sam Perkins whenever he was with Dallas? Just they kind of messed up
like Sam Perkins. His high top was 11 inches taller than that. And Sam
his
Perkins
arms were a lot longer too.
And Sam Perkins' face would be even with the ball on Jordan's jump shot.
Yeah,
of course not. It's a little guy. Look, he's not even close to contesting. All right. Thank you guys for watching as always. NBA past and present. If you like these videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The pinkies are out, so it's time to roll. Hope you guys have a great week. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.